Okay, I don't really expect many people to view this, but I figured I'd do a live video of my Toro Groundsmower. This is model 223D. It is only a two-wheel drive model. This is just going to be a quick walk around showing the actual machine and talk about some of the stuff I have found out regarding this particular machine. I do have the deck for it. I have a 52-inch deck for this machine. The only videos I have released on this machine so far are just shorts. Here's the actual model number for the machine right there. I have got a manual for this machine as well. I was able to download one from the Toro website. Really, the biggest concerns I had with this machine, besides how dirty it was and one mechanical issue I'll discuss in a second, was this engine. It's got a 3-cylinder diesel. From the research I've done, I do believe it's a Mitsubishi diesel. Originally, I thought it was a Kubota, but there was a few things off about it making me think it was not a Kubota, because I've had Kubotas in the past. I've had 3 of them. I've had a 2-cylinder, a 3-cylinder, and a second 3-cylinder. This one is also a 3-cylinder. Then I did some research with the manual. The manual said this should have a Yanmar. I did some research on the Yanmars, and it looked completely different still. So again, I did some more research. Yesterday I pressure washed the entire machine. That's why it's sitting where it's sitting, and it is in a somewhat torn apart state. Battery is disconnected. It's not the greatest, but it's definitely a lot cleaner than it was. This came from an estate sale type auction. The husband had passed away last winter. The wife was just a bit older than me, was still living on the property, but she's having a landscaping crew come in to maintain the property. So this machine was just used last season. So anyways, after pressure washing the engine, I found the model number. After looking up that model number, I have figured out this is a Mitsubishi diesel. It's anywhere from 18 to 40 horsepower. That's what that number covers. So I guess the 18 to 40 horsepower are pretty much the same block, the same setup, the same design. So obviously I cannot fire it up at the moment. I have no fuel tank. I have no power at the moment. The battery's good. I can hook up battery, but everything has been washed and it's all dry now. I washed it yesterday, but I do want to go through and wash this machine again just to make sure everything is nice and clean. Somebody has a low flying rocket out there. Unfortunately, it did not come with any deck hardware, so I got to pick up some bolts for the deck. 6 in total, 3 for each side. Hydraulics are functioning the way they should. This does have auxiliary hydraulics right here, which, as far as I can tell, are factory. They are looped. I'm not sure what you would necessarily run off of it. Potentially a snowblower, but for a snowblower, I figured the hydraulics would be closer to the front. I don't know. Tires are actually really good on it. The fronts are really good. They're kind of an aggressive tread, so definitely not being used on like a golf course with those aggressive tires. Be more used in a bush. I plan on using this at the super secret storage location to help keep the field maintained. So that is the overall plan and goal for this machine, is to use it there. I do have the deck, which I can show at the end of the video, but overall it is a decent machine. So whenever I got it, the issues it had, for one, dead battery, not too big of a deal. I was able to pick up a Hyundai car battery, but unfortunately it's too big, so I had to steal that one from another machine and use that one right there. The second more severe issue, when they were loading it, they were loading this machine from its side. And I'll show you what the issue is loading it from the side. The issue's been fixed now, but still, it was an issue. They should have looked at it. There is an oil filter right there. So that's the hydraulic oil filter that runs the entire hydro system. So when this machine was loaded on a hay cart. This machine, there was a John Deere. I was kind of trying to get a snowmobile, which went for next to nothing, but it was a 3-cylinder. There's mountains of issues with 3-cylinder Skidoo engines, and a Bolins. I was kind of looking at the John Deere and the Bolins at first. Then I saw this, and I was trying to get this and the John Deere, and I ended up with just this. Not too big of a deal. Oh, did those drop? Nope, not really. There's a little bit of play in there, but it's to be expected. So anyways, I ended up with this. It was on top of the hay cart. It said right in the auction, loader on site, they can help with loading. And I saw him, he was loading it from the side, and he said, oh, that's the same way I put it on the cart. So whenever he loaded it for the first time, he crushed the oil filter. Luckily, it did not damage the transmission, the pump, or nothing. It just damaged the filter. I got lucky there. To load this on our trailer, we had to load it from the front. And he said, he's not loading anything from the front, or this machine in particular, because it's a rear engine. It's very heavy in back. I said, we'll just throw a strap around it. Use the axle as the pivot point, which we did. And we put a ratchet strap around it. It loaded it perfectly fine. If he would have done that in the first place, it would have been so much better. He was a friend of either the wife or the late husband. I'm not 100% sure. Next issue this machine kind of has, it being a hydraulic drive, it's not too big of a deal. It has no brakes. The brakes have been completely disconnected. I did find some miscellaneous hardware when cleaning out the toolbox right here. I'm hoping some of that might be brake hardware. We are missing a couple lug nuts as well. This side has all 5. The other side only has 3, so I'll go 4 and 4. No big deal there. So anyway, so yeah, the brake pedals both do nothing. The cables appear to be working, but there is no action from the brakes at all. I'm hoping just bolt them back up, and I will have brakes. These machines are designed to use the brakes. So you can brake the left wheel or just the right wheel, or you can brake them both at the same time. So you can help with turning. So being rear steer, it isn't the easiest to drive. It's kind of a backward steering. So the overall goal of this machine is to potentially try and use it as long as I don't have to put too much more money into it. The hydraulic system is good to go. Oil's changed. Everything's good on that. Pretty much they drained out the entire system at the farm property. I had a tiny spill here. Not a big deal. It's already cleaned up and dealt with. The engine is the second story. Gotta get the oil changed for the engine. The oil is pretty black. Is it on this side? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a diesel, but still. I don't know when it was done last, and I would like to change the oil. Hey, got it first try. Good one. So I would like to change the oil in the engine and the filter. So I got to call around tomorrow to a few shops, a few places that deal with small engine stuff, and hopefully try and get the oil filter and figure out what type of oil it takes. Luckily, I do have all the numbers now. That shouldn't be too big of a deal to try and find out that information. Hopefully. That's where I'm crossing off right now. The Toro dealer, oh, thank you. One person was in. I know one person was in before. I do have a Toro dealer near me, so hopefully they can get what I need to get for this machine. Then after that, I'm probably not going to do much of anything else to this. I'm going to get the bolts for the deck, get the deck attached, and make sure it functions. And there's some debris that needs to be cleaned out on it. Not a big deal. So get the deck on, get it functioning, and try and use this machine. If anything else goes wrong with this machine, as long as it still runs, it's a parts machine. I obviously have the seat. The seat's in okay condition. It's not perfect, not great. So it will be a parts machine. The engine alone, I believe, is where my value is on this particular machine. That engine is probably worth a few grand right there by itself. I'm all in on this machine without the oil and the oil filter for $920 ish, around there, something like that, and right around that number. So I'm not into it for a huge horrible amount. I'm actually into it for a reasonable amount. So the engine runs good. There's no knocks, ticks. It's not missing on any cylinders. All 4 tires are good. The body's solid. It's a little bit banged up. The deck is also solid. Again, I'll show in a couple minutes. So I have a really good parts machine for somebody if they wanted to use this as a parts machine. So worst case scenario, it's a parts machine. Best case scenario, it's going to be put back into service and used. So that is the overall goal with this particular machine, is to use it, but if not, sell it for parts. So let's go take a look at the deck and we'll finish out this live stream. Thank you for the viewer that I currently have. I know I haven't done my end of the month updates lately. I've been definitely lacking on them. Some stuff has changed, but yeah, don't ignore that. That's scrap. Here's the deck for the Toro. Like I said earlier, it's a 52-inch. It should get the belt replaced. That belt's definitely not long for this world, but it does turn. There's nothing seized. All 3 spindles are good. The underside is where it's a little bit concerning. There is some debris stuck in the spindles, but it's not preventing them from spinning. They have 2 young kids at the property where this was, so toys, stuff like that, most likely got hit with this machine at one point or another. But overall, the deck is solid and is in reasonably decent condition. It is missing the cover right here. I could care less about that. But I don't have a model number on the actual deck. The plate is gone. Unfortunately, luckily I was able to find it on the actual tractor, but nothing on the actual deck, because I believe these could come with multiple different options for decks. I've even seen them where it had 3 separate power heads on the front and 2 power heads on the side. We'll go back over the machine. I'll show you in a second. But here it is, and here it was. That's just what standards it applies to. So anyways, I've seen these machines where it had a deck out the front and then had 2 other auxiliary mower setups off to each side. So hopefully this video is coming through okay. If not, I guess I will be re-recording it and uploading it as a regular video. So I am getting 5G. I am out in the country, but I do have a 5G service, so it's sometimes good, sometimes not. And those wires hanging down are for the fuel pump, and that's one other thing they destroyed, was the fuel pump. It was hanging and it has since been replaced, but it has not been mounted. So anyways, hopefully this live stream turned out. No guarantees on that. Thank you for the couple viewers I did have, and that's pretty much it. So like always, I'll talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment. Now, how do I end? There. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.